Welcome to ZKast, everyone. I'm ZS Caraval from ZK Research, and I'm here in Las Vegas at AWS reInvent 2023. I'm here just outside the expo hall. Boy, it's packed here, huh? Yeah, there's here with 60,000 of our friends, and I'm joined by Yvonne Wintersteiger from Worldwide Technology, and Mark Maslach from who's the VP with the Cisco company. So, Yvonne, why don't you just do a quick intro on yourself and what you do with Worldwide?
Oh, sure. So I manage our two practices, our end-user computing practice and our AI ops practice. So from end-user computing perspective, that includes things like modern device management, VDI, and then also employee experience, which is the key. And that's the piece that actually intersects with the AI ops practice, which we're talking about streamlining that experience for users and IT operations. And so that's why we brought those two things together.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's interesting that you did bring those two together, because the last time I talked to you, you were just end-user computing. Correct. So it's good to see you evolve in that way. And Mark, as I mentioned, you're with AppDynamics, the Cisco company. Talk a little about what you do.
Sure. So I run the channels and strategic alliances globally for AppDynamics. And I also run our full stack observability hyper specialist sales team. I've got a long tenure at Cisco. I've been here almost 25 years. And for the last 3 years, I've been with Cisco AppDynamics.
Okay, so it's day one of reInvent. Actually, day two for me because I had to fly in early, but day one for the most part. We haven't had a keynote yet. I'm just curious from both of you, but Mark, what are you looking forward to here?
Oh, I love coming to this event. I mean, first of all, it's getting bigger and bigger every year. I'm sure you've been here for a while. We've got over 60,000 people here. We have so many of our partners here, our customers here, great partners like Worldwide. We've got AWS, which we have a tremendous relationship with. So for me, this is just a great engagement event, both on the customer and partner side for us.
And how about you, Mark?
So this is my first time.
Wow.
I'm absorbing all this. Yeah, exactly. But from my perspective, again, from end-user computing perspective, the virtual desktop, so AWS workspaces, that's one of the things that I need to really double down on. We're absolutely doing a cloud VDI. It's a very popular topic, so I want to discover more of that. And then the whole marketplace, I think it's actually taking off, and we're doing a lot of deals through that now, and I think that's something that we need to also invest more time in.
Yeah, and one of the things I like about the show is that it's evolved nicely over the years. In fact, it used to be, an AWS show, but I think a lot of people think of it now as really the cloud industry show. And along with that, the definition of cloud has changed, right? It's gone from your traditional centralized public cloud, and we've added private clouds and hybrid clouds and edge computing and things like that. And so we continue to see the cloud used in new and different ways. And so I wonder if you have any thoughts on that, Ivan.
Oh yeah, cloud is definitely something that we talk to our customers all the time. And specifically, the whole idea is not anymore just, I'm going to go to this cloud or that cloud. It's multi-cloud or hybrid or whatever you want to call it these days. So that's a lot of conversations around that. And then if you look at that from an end-user computing perspective, and things like that, end-user focused, where are these work streams being run, and how easy is to manage that across the board. So I think the multi-cloud is the challenge there for management and visibility.
And how about you? What are you seeing for challenges from the customer standpoint as they look to expand their usage of cloud?
Oh, I think it's everything that you said. I just think it's a highly complex environment, right? Because the cloud has changed so much over the past 10 years. So for our customers, they're facing, every single customer that we have is looking at a cloud migration path or a cloud story, coupled with the complexity of just running their business as well. So a lot of opportunity, I think, for us and our partners to solve those challenges. But for me, it's really about the opportunity and the complexity all wrapped up together.
Now, Mark, when I think of AppDynamics, a lot of people think of it as an application management company, which is what it was when Cisco bought it. In fact, I know Worldwide Technology has worked with them a long time. Yeah. But more and more with Cisco, it's actually become the lead to its full stack observability in our vision or architecture, if you want to call it that. So first, can you define what full stack observability is, and then how AppD fits into that?
Sure. So quite simply for us, full stack observability is giving our customers the opportunity to have full visibility and observability from really the network layer all the way out to the application layer across clouds and multi-cloud environments, and also security and infrastructure. So for us, full stack observability is bringing that all together into one unified view for a customer so they can apply business insights, and we can help them do that along with Worldwide to take actionable things to ideally produce optimal application performance for their customers and also for their employees as well.
Yeah, and so Yvonne, I know you talked to a lot of customers. In fact, I think nobody does more business with Cisco than Worldwide Technology. So when you talk to customers about full stack observability, what are the types of things they're looking for it to do, and what are some of the problems they're looking for it to solve?
Well, if you look at it, what's going on right now with the pandemic and Great Resignation, a bunch of other things, there has been an emphasis put on employee experience. At least that's one angle of full stack observability. Right, exactly. And so ultimately, to be able to really measure and affect that, you have to have a visibility into what's going on, not just in a network, not just on application, but also devices and all the infrastructure in the back. And that's the whole premise of full stack observability. And we build on that even further with the ability to measure some of the sentiment from the users directly. So really we can then create a strategy for organizations around digital employee experience, which is, again, a pretty hot topic.
Yeah, what's been fascinating to me too is that as the world's moved more to cloud, the network is something that's increasingly grown in importance and actually provides a lot of data for full stack observability. Because I've always said that, when you think about older applications, you ran them on your PC, you ran them in a local data center, but now they live in the cloud, they live in your mobile phone, and the applications don't really know that you've got this part of a network and a WAN. It just, the app is going to perform as it's going to perform. And so if you don't have visibility across that whole spectrum, you're really not going to have a good idea, right, of how things perform. So
I think that's one of the things that Cisco brings to the table with 1,000 Eyes, for example.
Yeah.
One of the components of the full stack observability. But Mark could probably talk more about it.
No, go ahead.
Well, we actually are going to talk to 1,000 Eyes in another video, but
nice.
it would be good, Mark, to hear from your standpoint what that relationship is between 1,000 Eyes, which is an internet monitoring company, and AppDynamics, which again works at the application layer.
Well, I think the beauty of it is we're all part of Cisco and we're all integrated together, and we're basically sharing data bi-directionally, right? So we work very closely with our 1,000 Eyes team. I'll let them get into digital experience monitoring and they'll go into depth on it. But I think it's what you said, Ivan, is the key. Not only employee experience, it's driven from an application standpoint, and the customer experience is driven from an application standpoint. And to what you said, Zeus, about having the cloud operate in so many different ways, you have so many different teams trying to figure out how to deliver the optimal application experience. Only Cisco and Worldwide together, like a partner of ours, can actually bring all that data in from various sources into one unified view of Cisco Full Stack Observability to actually solve those challenges. And that's why we're so excited about it.
Yeah, and then I'm curious, how important is automation today too in IT, especially in cloud operations?
Not at all. It's just a fact. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Well, a lot of IT pros, when you mention automation, they get the heebie-jeebies, right? So
look, we've been talking about automation for many years now already, and then the AI piece just got relabeled a little bit more, and brought more forefront recently with ChatGPT and things like that. But automation is a key thing, right? If you're looking at employee experience, first you have to see what's going on. So that's the observability part. But eventually you want to get to be proactive things, so the system ultimately fixes itself before it's even broke.
Yeah.
And that's where the automation part is key.
So the interesting part of that is, my data shows that 3/4 of trouble tickets are actually opened by the end user, right? So IT is always working in a bit of firefighting mode, because you don't know there's a problem until the user knows there's a problem. Where if you can do what you say, where you can see more and automate the remediation of it, perhaps no one actually knows there was a problem, right? And that's the ultimate for IT. Yeah. So Yvonne, I know from an AI standpoint, Cisco has been very bullish on it. In fact, there's a big topic conversation both at Cisco Live and Partner Summit. And so how do you see the role of AI playing in full stack observability?
Well, again, I think AI is just another name that we use for automation, honestly. So no difference. What we're seeing now is that large language models that are being actually applied to already that underlying technology, right? Where ultimately is going to even more help IT operations to be more effective, right? And so that's how I see things happening. But again, to me, AI is just another just a little bit of a layer on top. Automation's been already there for us from the get-go.
Mark, do you have any comment on that?
No, I agree. I mean, obviously for us at Cisco, AI, when it comes to full stack observability, we've built AI into full stack just like we're doing across our entire portfolio. I think the interesting thing for us is with our full stack observability platform, we allow partners like Worldwide to build on top of that platform, and that's where even can take that in the direction that he wants to take with his customers along with us. So that's what I'm excited about most there.
All right, cool. Well, just a couple more questions, and
Sure.
the marketplace has become a much bigger channel model for Cisco, and so talk about why that's so important to reach partners like Worldwide Technology versus your traditional model.
Yeah. Well, it's because of our customers, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, and Cisco AppDynamics has had a long history of being on AWS Marketplace. But what we've done basically to help our partners like Worldwide is we've created a path through all the Cisco buying programs that we have, all the things that Worldwide is familiar with, and still be able to transact on the marketplace, but leverage all of our billing platforms, our ordering platforms. So the team's done a really good job at Cisco. The global partner team has done a great job in opening up that as a path to partners like yourself.
Has it made it easier for you?
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Without that, we wouldn't be able to do what we need to do for the customers, right? I mean, we just recently had a pretty large deal for the large manufacturer that we're able to transact. I think it was AppD specific. I think north of $10 million, for example, through Marketplace, and that was pretty awesome that we were able to do this.
Good. Yeah. And just a couple more questions. I wanted to ask you. The word Splunk was said here. I know I can't ask you about it. But are you excited about that? I know Splunk's another company you worked with for a long time.
Yeah. So absolutely. I think that's going to add a whole other dimension to Cisco's portfolio of things, not just from full stack observability, but also obviously security components to it. And I think it's just going to be a question of how that is actually integrated and implemented. I know we still have many months of waiting till all that is actually fully
about a year.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But I seriously think that they're bringing a leader in pretty much a solution that knows how to deal with large data and figure out where the root cause is for whatever we're trying to solve, either security issues or operations issues. So that's where the two kind of come together, and this is Splunk for Cisco.
And just one more last question. This one's for you as well. For customers that want to experiment with cloud and multi-cloud, right? It's not always cookie cutter. It's not easy. Talk about the Advanced Technology Center that Worldwide Technology has built and how customers can use that to help them try things before they commit millions of dollars to these projects.
Absolutely. There's just one of the scenarios where we use our Advanced Technology Center, or ATC, but also it helps us holistically, to shorten that even sales cycle, if you think about it, right? We can help customers figure out things faster by showing them what's possible, what's not possible, how to do it right, and ultimately for them so they can create a better strategy quicker and solve the problems that they need to solve. So, yeah. And then on the second part of that is actually when it comes to actually testing and implementing, this also plays a role in it. We can speed things up like that from that angle as well. So really win.
And that must be incredibly valuable for Cisco.
Absolutely. I mean, we have customers go there all the time with Worldwide. It's an outstanding facility.
Yeah, great.
For sure.
Great. Well, anything else you guys want to add?
I'm just excited to be here. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's day one, so there's lots of news coming, and really all areas. I think we're going to hear a little bit about AI too, and generative AI is my guess.
Maybe.
So, all right. Well, thanks, guys. On behalf of Yvonne and Mark, I'm ZKast from ZK Research, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time on another ZKast.
Thanks.
Hey, great job.
Thanks.